Hate manually focusing. Hi everyone, I'm Joshua. It's cold and raining in Melbourne because it's always cold and raining in Melbourne. So we're gonna make a stew. This isn't a very complicated recipe, it just takes a lot of time. That's not usually how I like to cook. I'm an elder millennial slaving under capitalism, so I just want things fast. But sometimes it is worth actually putting in the effort and work, especially if you've got a little bit of time to kill. For this, you're gonna need chuck steak, 2 red onions, about 200 grams of mushrooms, 3 or 4 garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 carrots, a cup of beef stock, a cup of red wine, bay leaves, dry parsley, garlic powder, dry tarragon, dried oregano, dried chili flakes. We're gonna get started on the beef. I'm just gonna get a large bowl, my garbage bowl. Into this is gonna go about a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of parsley, a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of tarragon, tablespoon of dried chili flakes, tablespoon of olive oil, salt, pepper, and then we take our steak. Now, I'm perfectly willing and able to dice the steak myself. The grocery store did not have any that was not already pre-diced. So, there we go. This is chuck steak. You just want something that's gonna hold up to being cooked for a long time. Steak goes in here. This is about 1 kilo of chuck steak. And then that's all gonna get a nice little mix and massage, making sure that you coat all of the beef. If you were dicing this yourself, you're gonna want pieces that are about 3 to 4 centimeters. We're gonna be cooking this for a while, so we want the texture to still hold up. Wash the hands. And this is gonna go chill for 5 minutes or so. In the meantime, we're gonna get started on the vegetables. Take the 2 onions, and we're just gonna quarter these. These onions were a bit small, so I'm gonna add a 1/3. Garlic, back of the knife, peel it. That's gonna get grated. That's the garlic, carrots, just into rough chunks. Mushrooms. This is about 200 grams. And honestly, that's it for the prep stuff. All right, at this point, I'm gonna get the oven going to about 140 fan forced, which is 150, 160 without. I'm gonna get the stove going. We're gonna put in about a tablespoon of oil, and then a good knob of butter. The butter raises the smoke point of the olive oil. Look, you tell Italy it's not allowed to fry things in olive oil. I'm not gonna be the one to have that fight. Once the butter's melted and the oil is up to heat, we're gonna do the searing of the beef. Do this in batches. You don't wanna crowd the pot too much. Just let the beef sit there and sear for a minute or so until it starts to get brown. Once there's some browning, we're gonna transfer it to a bowl and then add batch number 2. Take the beef out. And last batch. And then we take the beef out of the pot, leave that to the side. Immediately we want to get these onions in. Then we're going to add in the mushrooms. Throw in the carrots. You want a cup of red wine. You want something like a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Pinot. That goes in, deglaze the bottom, scraping up all of the brown bits. I don't like drinking Pinot Noir. Now we're gonna throw in the garlic. I didn't do this earlier because the garlic will just burn and the flavors are gonna be cooking long enough that everything will mix together. And then the tomato paste. Oh, this is even worse than the chicken teriyaki. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of MSG. Then the beef goes back in along with any of the juices that came out while it was resting. In goes our cup of chicken stock, 2 or 3 bay leaves. Then that just gets a lid. This goes into the oven. This goes into the oven. And it's gonna live there for about 2 hours. Hey, set a timer for 2 hours.
2 hours starting now.
I was afraid that that was going to set all of your devices off if I said that. And then I remembered I control the sound. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you back in a bit. I'm going to go change my shirt. How long on the timer?
The timer has about 1 hour to go.
Food's been cooking for about an hour now. I saw that there was a lot of liquid still left in the pot, so I've taken off the lid and I'm just gonna eyeball it and put the lid back on if it reduces too quickly. So the beef doesn't have too much time left. Normally I would serve this over rice or polenta. This is also really lovely with pasta, which is what I'm gonna do tonight. My trick with getting pasta going pretty quickly is to boil a kettle first. I don't know why electric kettles aren't a thing in the US. I never had one growing up, but everywhere else in the world seems to know what they are. Get that going. I'm just gonna give this a taste check. That's really nice. Definitely needs some more. Ooh, it's a bit spicy. Definitely needs a bit more salt and pepper. I didn't want to add salt until the beef was nearly finished because as it reduces, that salt concentrates and you can very easily over-season it. In goes the water. And now you've saved yourself a lot of time waiting for the water to get up to boil. You want a lot of salt. As the Italians say, this should taste like the sea. In goes the penne. It's maybe a cup and a half. Who has a problem with leftover pasta? And I'm just gonna keep an eye on that until it's done cooking. Hey, stop timer. We cook the pasta until it's al dente. Heat off, drain it. So I'm just going to serve this with some chopped parsley. This is about a fourth of a cup, maybe. Heat goes off. The beef comes out. I'm gonna fish out those bay leaves. Gonna add about 2/3 of the parsley now. And the sauce is so nice and thick right now. So I'm just going to put the pasta on the bottom. And then a portion of the stew. And then garnish with a bit of parsley on top. And there we go. Molto bene. The pasta is delicious. The beef is tender but still has some texture. Woo, that does have a kick though. Maybe dial it back if you're afraid of chili. Thank you for joining me again. Please like, subscribe. I really never realized how much of a difference that sort of thing makes until I was making videos on YouTube, but it really helps out. Please give me more ideas for recipes, feedback, comments, compliments. Love compliments. Anything else you can think of. I'm very receptive. Please just get in touch. I'm gonna have dinner.